I was asked recently by a friend of mine what advice I could give them to start freelancing, as this is something that they want to do. This is a great question, and here are a few things that I shared with them that I wish I'd have known at the beginning of my freelance journey. The first thing I advised them to do was to set up their systems and processes from the first day. This will make life so much easier further down the line. Like, for example, setting up your email, your project management tool. Like, I use Trello. I just think it's the easiest one, which then kind of brings me on to the next thing. I touched on their email, but instead of reaching out to potential clients from like a Hotmail or a Gmail email address, buy a domain and get the email address that way, because you'll stand out, you look more professional. Another thing I really recommend is in terms of all your internal documentation. So this is like stuff for invoicing, things like onboarding docs and next steps that you're going to be sending to clients. Once you create them once, turn them into a template so that you're not creating them from scratch every single time. And the kind of final piece of advice that I gave them was when it comes to outreach, because the biggest question a lot of people have about freelancing is, how do you get clients? Which again, great question. So there are so many different ways to do this. The way that I've got clients when I started is ironically through LinkedIn, because I don't use it anymore. I need to start using it again. But I had previously built up a bit of a community on there. So LinkedIn's a good way for people to reach out. But you also have websites like Fiverr and Upwork, which are really good because people are actively looking for freelancers on there. But I would advise you need to be patient and you need to be consistent with both of those websites, because you're not going to get every job that you apply for. In fact, if you get 5% of the jobs you apply for, you'll be doing well. But the more work you do through those sites, the better your profile will look, and therefore the easier it will be to secure jobs in the future. So I thought this was a really good question about freelancing, and I've been freelancing nearly for a full year now, but I've also worked in marketing for over 10 years and I freelanced previously. So I'm going to share more information around this because I just think it's really useful, and I love to have a good yap about the freelancing life. So if you have any questions, let me know.